This is one of Austin's choices. You want to talk to us about this piece?
Well, I'm not a trumpet player, but I sure do love this concerto. It's whenever I think of your ideal orchestral trumpet, this piece instantly comes to mind. And it was funny because I'd forgotten I wrote this down because I was like, I recognize this. I thought it was like one of Kevin's choices, but no, this is definitely. I actually, for some reason, just feel really intimate with this movement for some reason. And one of my best friends from high school, who goes to SMU and studies orchestral trumpet, I think he's playing this year.
Ooh.
And he played it a couple of years ago for our concerto competition. Ever since then, it just stuck in my mind. I actually don't know when Haydn wrote this.
Oh, I didn't turn it on. Sorry, you were saying?
I actually don't remember when Haydn wrote this. I think this was towards it was after like not the pinnacle, but like the middle of his compositional life. Kevin, I don't know anything more about this. Do you have any? No.
It was like the first major piece for trumpet, pretty much. Like one of the only ones. Not like every kid has to play it, like at one point. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a lot better on E flat trumpet than B flat trumpet.
I have a story for you guys about this piece, and E flat trumpet and B flat trumpet. So yes, there's two different trumpets. I accompanied for an undergraduate, not at the school. I would hope that it would not happen at the school, but he went the entire semester playing in the wrong key, on the wrong instrument.
Oh my goodness.
Because I didn't meet with him until later, and he was not in lessons for some reason that semester. Didn't realize that he had two versions in his music, and he was not playing the right one. No idea how that would happen. And he goes, oh, there's two instruments?
Oh,
It's your instrument, and even I know this. So,
Did you like transpose on the fly?
no, I made him go learn it in the correct key. I'm not learning in a different key. Yeah, so that was kind of like wait, really? Know your music, know your instruments, all right? Okay, so the plan for today, I would like another stab at walking you guys through the transposition, because last Thursday I just kind of tossed it to you, and they were like, that's not gonna work. So I was thinking about it over the weekend, and how to make this process more methodical so that you can do it on your own and be able to get you the right notes and it sounds correct. Where was I going with that? And then, yes, we're going to do the playing test for the chord progressions. So the college shouldn't need a grade on it, but for the adults, I can just check in with you guys and see what questions you guys have about those chords and the inversions. But let's hop over to page 56. So I would like another stab at this particular example. You guys see it. It's in your book. Okay. All right, so what is interesting with this example right here? So yes, it actually uses literally the chords that we talked about in the keyboard theory and how that's progressing. Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. Go ahead and move to the back so you can see that. And actually, Jen, you can use this piano too, so you can see the board. Not had this trouble before. Technology. Come on. Yeah. No. That's okay. We won't worry about that. Okay. So we're going to start with the melody part of it. Alright. And so as I was working through it, I was thinking, so what would make most sense in transposing that melody and getting to the correct pitches? And so the first thing is thinking of going through all the scale degrees so that you're thinking in scale degrees and not pitches. So then you have two, that way it'll make it easier for you to think in the new key. Right, so for item B right there, so we're starting off with, so yes, go ahead and think in the E flat major. E flat major. If you have your scale reference sheet, that's perfect. So in E flat major, B flat is which scale degree?
5.
The 5, perfect. Okay, so if that's the 5, then notice B2 is still a 5. All right. And then what would the and of 2, which scale degree is that?
That's 4.
4, because you stepped down. So that's 4 scale degree, and then you step down again to the 3rd scale degree. Right? Yeah, so you can actually jot this in your music. It makes it easy to do the scale degrees. And then notice you have a skip. So then you end on the 1st scale degree. And then in bar 4, you're going to leap upwards to a 4th scale degree. And then stays a 4th degree. And then in bar 3, so follow that line just with your scale degrees. So to not get it confused with finger numbers, when we're writing scale degrees, we'll do this, we'll put a little hat on top of it. Oh, yeah, so in the key of E flat, your B flat is 5th, so then you can just mark that as, I'll just somewhere in your music so that we know that that's a 5th scale degree.
Oh, okay.
So whether it's 5th or 7th, what happened.
What do you do with the next to last note?
Yes, okay, so the next to the last note we have a D. Right, so what is D in E flat major?
So we need to.
Right, because then it's the 7th note. There you go, so it goes 7 and then goes back to 1. Right, so now this particular melody, you're going outside of the pentascale. You're using the entire scale. Yeah. Okay, so now it wants us to go to A major. So it wants to go up to A major. So make sure you're starting on the A above middle C. Yeah, and we're going to play just that A major scale right there. So we start thinking of the correct sharps. Alrighty, we can turn them into whole notes. Okay, so 1, 2, ready, play. A, go to B, to go to C sharp, to go to D, go to E, go to F sharp, go to G sharp, and go to A. Yeah, let's go down, so repeat the A, down to G sharp, down to F sharp, down to E, down to D, down to C sharp, down to B, and down to A, and go down to 7, yes, G sharp, and back to 1. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so keep your hand in that position. You're in A major. Okay, and everyone play the 5th scale degree of A major. Yes, I'm hearing the correct pitch. It should be this E. There it is. Good. So we just want the melody now. Okay, so I know some of you guys are doing the harmony. Let's just stick to the melody so we can all hear the same thing. Okay. So let's go up to the first half note so that we can do that in rhythm. So it's going to be 5, 5, 4, 3, 1, 4. And it's all under your fingers. It happens to also be your finger numbers, but it won't always be that way, okay? So let's do 2 measures. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5. There it is. Let's try it again. This is pretty fast. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5, 5, 4, 3, 1, 4. Yeah, there you go. That was all the correct pitches. All right, let's keep going. So it's on a 4 again. 4. Ready, go. 3. Oh, sorry. Let's start off on the pickup into bar 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 3, 3, 4, 3, 1, 2. Reach for the G sharp and go to the A. Reach for that 7. Yeah, good. Let's try that whole thing. Should we slow the tempo down? Maybe we're good. Cool, let's stick with it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 5, 5, 4, 3, 1, 4. Hold. 4, 3, 3, 4, 3, 1, 2. Reach. Good. Let's do the last 2 measures. So your thumb needs to swing up there and catch that 7th scale degree, which is G sharp and A major. 1, ready, play. 2, 7. 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, ready, play. B, hold, G sharp, A, 2, 3. Alright? Yeah, so there's your melody. So starting with the scale degree and just walking your way through them so that you have a visual, representation of that melody line. Alright. So you can look at the left hand. So yes, go ahead and think back in the E flat major. In E flat major, that's an E flat major chord, right? So notice that it's a root position chord. And actually, this will be good practice. You know what I'm supposed to, but you're going to play the left hand as written. So we can take a look at the common tones. Okay. There we go. Alright, so go ahead and play. It's going to be out of rhythm. That's fine. Go ahead and play the first tone, so the tonic chord. Lovely. Now, which 2 fingers are going to move up?
3, 1.
Yeah, so you keep your 5 on the E flat. So here's your first chord, root position. Keep that E flat right there. Notice that moves up. So E flat, A flat to C. And then back to E flat. Alright, we're going to take those 3 chords and put it in A major. So go ahead and come up to A major. Good, we played just the A major chord. It's in root position. And then going to the 4 chord, you're keeping your pinky the same. So it's the same intervallic relationship between the 2. And back to A major. Yeah. Go back to the D major, which is your 4 chord. And back to A major. Good. Okay, so now take a look at, to go to your 5, because of common tones, we're going to keep this E up top. And we need a G sharp and a B. Ignore that bottom note. I'm not actually playing that note. A G sharp, B, E. So it's spelling your dominant chord. And back to 1. Down to the 5. get very familiar with, oh, the one that goes up to a 4 very smoothly, goes down to a 5. And so we just do these finger twitches. And we see that a lot in piano music, so it does get easier. Our hands start remembering what those chord shapes feel like. All right? These are examples from the web, and I actually made notes of what we talked about, so it makes it easier to keep track of your scene. Don't look at the second page, because that's the answer sheet. Okay. All right, let's go on our headphones. All right, so if you look at item B, there's a lot of sharps there, isn't it? Right, so you're gonna go, that's really freaky. Which is why, so the goal with this transposition that it puts you in a nicer key to deal with, right? It literally takes you to C major, which is no sharps and no flats, and you're good to go, right? So me writing in the scale degrees, I was thinking in the key that it was written in, and I was thinking of the scale, the F sharp major scale, to get those scale degrees, okay? But you're more than welcome to just read that scale degree right now, it's no problem. Okay, so then they want you to transpose up to C major, so that means your hand will be up here, using the treble C. Good. Everyone craning their heads down, make sure your headphones are plugged in.
It's always me. Always me. There we go.
Okay, so we're going to go right off the bat, we're going to play it in the key of C major. So if you look at all the scale degrees, you notice that this example doesn't use a 7, and it does stay within a 5-finger position. So then it starts with your third scale degree, so it means your first note is going to be E. So really you just, again, in this situation, it also happens to be your finger numbers. So go ahead and use that to help you out. So let's take, I'm going to count in 8 notes. 1, and 2, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 3, 1. Oh. 2, 3, 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Right. So yes, it is a bit of a finger twister because all the skips in there. So play through that line a couple times until it feels more comfortable in your right hand. So make sure you're in C position. So unless you transpose like to C major. Okay. So put your thumb on C. Put your thumb finger. Put the thumb on C. Thumb on C. Yeah, so your thumb wants to be on the tonic. Okay. And then C major, right? C, D, E, F, G. So now you're a third scale degree. 3. Yeah, that's it. Perfect. And then on the back here, oh. You guys I wrote down the letters for you. So you can double check. Okay. Alrighty, here we go. Here we go, let's take a look at that left hand. Okay, so we start on the tonic chord, but it's in second inversion. Okay, so go ahead and play a C major root position chord. Oh, sorry, you should be up here. Okay, so that's root position. Now go ahead and take it to first inversion. Oh wait, hold on a second. Your hands are overlapped. Sorry, you are down here. There's root. There's first. And take this and move it up top. So that's your transposed first chord. That's a C major. Okay. And then see if you can find where the notes are going for bar 3. So notice that your G stays the same. And there's your 5/7 in bar 3. And notice that it omits the 5th. You have a lot in the chord in 5/7. The second half of bar 3, notice your G is still there because it goes back to the 1 chord. And then it goes back to the 5/7. And then it goes to a partial C major chord. Okay, so there's only 2 chords in this, which makes it quite nice. Alright, let's play that left hand in rhythm. And see if you can also include a staccato touch. 1, 2, 1, 2. Same chord. 5/7. Same, right? If you're up for it, play the right hand with it, or just play the left hand, and you're going to hear me play the melody with it. 1, 2, 1, 2. It just goes by so fast. Let's try that once more. 1, 2, 1, 2. I apologize if I don't go. So that's how it breaks down. So if you're thinking of looking at an example, going through the scale degrees and looking at, okay, does this spell a 1 chord, does it spell a 4 chord, does it spell a 5/7 chord? And then look at what inversion they're in to follow the common tones. And also you're really just following shapes in your left hand. Okay, so usually if you find your starting chord, you'll be able to get through the rest of your left hand just by following what notes move and what notes don't. Okay, so for Thursday, will you take some time and try the other 2 items? Okay, so we have the scale degrees, and on the second page, I've actually written out the letters that it does translate into. Right, so a lot of this is just methodical, step by step, and then we do it. Okay.
As promised, I have Christmas music for us today.
Alright, okay, so I would like to go into, so I'm gonna check in on the college students for the court stuff. And, as you guys are more than welcome to work on that if you'd like, but also like to keep the melody of this and we can start playing around with this while I check in with the college students. Hey, Andrew, how are you? Good, okay. Are you able to pull up what is our page 54?
I got it.
Cool. All right, so let's take a look at, I'll have you do item B in the key. You can all hear him.
Can't hear you.
I'm only talking to him. Yeah. Item B in the key of F major.
If you just want to do right in.
So it's written in the bass clef, so do it in the bass clef.
Oh. Okay. Item, yeah. Okay, I think the items are different, but I got it.
Ooh,
I got it
nice.
now. There's only one base clef, and I know it's the same ones. It's 141571.
Yes, you got it. So the first time that F7 threw you off, right?
Yeah, sorry.
Actually, I forgot to tell you, let's do a count out so we can keep that steady, and also do a BB time and think of what that chord is. So let's do that once more. We can do a count out.
One, two, three, four. 2, 2, 3, 4. Repeat.
That was solid, right? So take a tempo where you actually give yourself time to think, right? So in the 5/7, what note would you leave out to keep it?
I could leave out fifth.
Yeah, perfect. All right, good. And we'll work on Angels Way for all time.
Awesome, thank you.
Hey, Kevin, how are you?
Good.
Can you move your mic there?
Yeah.
Ah, now I hear you. Okay, so we're gonna do item B in F major. And when you're ready, we can do a count out, so you can keep it nice and steady.
One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh.
questions on music versus non-work? No? Okay. Okay, ready?
Hello.
We do item B
Okay.
and the key of F.
Yeah. Great.
You do a count off and the repeat as well.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nice. Cool. Super solid. Good. Did you get a chance to fill out the survey that I sent?
Which survey was that?
Oh, I'm trying to wonder if you're not getting my emails.
No, I'm getting your emails.
Okay. It was a survey that was asking about your jewelry experience.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hey, Kat, how are you?
How are you? Oh wait, good, how are you?
Good. Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's do item B. And keep F major.
Right.
So make sure you do a count off, so you keep your whole note steady, and also do your repeat.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so both times is a 5/7 that sounded funky to me. Can you play that 5/7? So notice it's in inverted position. Oh, okay, yeah, good. So you are leaving out the fifth, which is perfect, right? But occasionally I think your C had a ghost note.
Yeah,
I
I'm
just heard
playing it really soft.
I just heard
Yeah.
that. Okay, yeah, good, but you're building it correctly. Alrighty, so 12 out of 12. Nice. Any questions on this possession and how it works? Everywhere in our music.
Yeah.
Austin, how are you?
Hello.
Alright, we'll do item B,
Yay.
and keep F major.
Okay.
Do a count off and the repeat.
One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops.
Okay, 5/7. What inversion are you in?
I'm in root.
Oh, okay. Alright, son. Oh,
That
there it
just
is.
felt more comfortable for, I mean, do you have a better way to do that?
But you were in root position, right? Yeah, 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 so right, so because this particular example,
Yeah.
like keeping those common tones, you do independent root, and then you can certainly leave out the G.
Okay.
Yeah, nice. Any questions on these progressions?
Not on these, it was just, it was kind of interesting, because it was more difficult for me to really play the part B a couple days ago,
Uh-huh.
until I realized that you could, like, you're supposed to leave it in root position, because I was trying to find, like, different 5/7 positions.
Oh,
And
okay.
that was making it really confusing, and I was like, oh, you're supposed to play that.
Yes, right, so, again, because of the common tones, right, it just happens to be landed in root position at that tonic chord were in first inversion, it would be different, right? Depends on what shape you start in, it's gonna lead you to different things, right? And if it was based on all the three options that we tried, you might prefer starting with a different inversion, so that when it comes to harmonization, if it's not written out for you, start the shape that you're more comfortable in. Yeah.
There was only one other thing, and it was about finger position.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember which one it was. I think it was in the top one, the first versions. So, can't formulate the question anymore. I just didn't feel like I was doing the 4 right from the 4 to 1, because it's on the first inversion tonic, it's 1, 2,
5.
5.
Yes.
Okay, and then 4, you go back to just,
1.
no, I'm not, that's why. And then just word
Yes.
position.
Yeah, so actually, I noticed your hand moved in quite a bit to get to that. So when you play my A, I wish you could see where my finger was, I'm pretty close to the black key, so that my thumb doesn't have to travel as far, hopping up to the B flat. Up here.
Okay. That may
Or
be.
instead of, or, that's even worse.
That may have been why I was having issues with it.
The handshake, right, you feel like you're trying harder than you need to.
And then going to the 5 from that first inversion, what did your fingers do? Because I was like,
I would switch to a 1, 3, 5.
okay.
So even though it's the same note, you gotta change for 3, so that it's more comfortable.
That was the other issue I had.
Good, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So even the same note, we sometimes we will need to change for your because of the inversion that we end up in. Great question. Alrighty, let's come out of your headphones. Alrighty, so I asked the college students to do item from page, what was that, 56?
54.
54. On 54, I asked them to do item B in the key of F major. Let's run through that. So actually, without playing, so on that first example in the bass clef, so in the key that's written, what inversion is that? Just based on what it looks like. Second, and then it goes into first inversion, back to second inversion. What's the 5/7? Root, because it's perfectly stacked, and then back to the second inversion, right? So those have been what they need to be aware of when they start their fingerings out, so that they can successfully get to the other chords, all right? Actually, I want to do the Christmas stuff, so we're gonna leave the theory as it is, because the theory actually comes in on the Christmas tune, and that's more fun than an exercise out of the book. So, all right. So angels we have heard on high. Grab your pencils. Cat. What key are we in here? Key of F. Key of F. Yep. So you mark it if you need to. So we're in F major. So that would make your first chord, that F right there, your tonic chord. Okay. So there's your 1. So what does that make that C7? It's your 5/7. Like I said, 1s and 5/7 is all Christmas music. All right. Okay. So we're in the key of F. Key of F No, you can start in any inversion that you want, right? On last Thursday, you guys all tried all of them and said, oh, I like starting in first inversion, it's easier for me to get to the 5-7. I like starting from the second inversion, or I like starting from the root, all right? So again, you can do the same thing here to figure out what inversion you want to start with, because then you're going back and forth only between 2 chords, which your hands can get to very easily. But let's play through that melody once, or a couple times. We're gonna plan on bars 1 through 8, the first verse. What is your lowest note here, Jenny?
F.
Oh, in the whole thing, or just?
No, just in bars 1 through 8. F, that's an F, right? So go ahead and put your thumb on the F, and then you're gonna, the F pentascale, that's really well right there. Does everyone have a copy? Yes. Great. Alrighty. Should we just play through this? Sure. Okay. 1, 2, ready, play. Ooh, someone's starting on an F. Make sure you're starting on the 3rd scale degree. Ah, there it is. Okay. 1, 2, ready, play. Okay, so if you were playing, I'm going to have you guys play the melody. I'm going to come up with a 2-handed accompaniment based on those 2 chords that are changing back and forth. All right? And I'm deciding that because it's a calm melody. It's not Jingle Bell Rock. Right? It's a calm melody. So I'm going to do let's see. Legato 8th notes. So maybe something that sounds like that. All right, so you guys are playing the melody for me. 1, 2, ready, play. C7, all right? If you're playing the melody in your right hand and you want to do the chords, that's where the close position chords come in handy, because then you can do both, all right? So the chord, D flats, here we go. Oh shit, let me write this in the bass clef. Make more sense. Will everyone form the tonic chord? Yeah. So starting in root position. Okay. And then what's the common tones between your F chord and your C7 chord? Yeah, good. So I'm going to keep your C right there. What happens to the other notes? It shifts down, right? What note are we going to not play? G. Yep, leave on the G. Here's your B flat. Here's your C. So what inversion is that right there when you have an E on the bottom? First. Yep. So if you're a root, going to your 5-7, it's always gonna be your first inversion. Alright? Alright, let's start F, there we go. So if you're in first inversion, keep the C. third, right? Because a third inversion because you have 4 notes. And our last option, C, F, A. Here's the second inversion. So keep that C right there on the bottom. And you leave out the G. Your position here. Key signature. Okay, so what I would like you guys to do is I'm gonna put you guys in pairs. I might have to, we'll need people to move chairs a little bit. Walk through the chords so that you can decide which one feels better. If you have questions, ask your partner. And then one person plays the melody, one person plays the chords. For the chord person, you can just use one hand or you can use 2 hands. That's up to you. As long as we're grabbing the correct chords using closest position chords. Alright? Alright, so here's your own pairs. And Andrew, could you move next to Joan? And Jenny, yeah, Jenny, could I have you move to that piano over there? Because then you'll be paired with Kat.
So,
All right.
I need to work on the chords. I need to work on the chords.
Sure, sure, sure.
No, they're all kind of awkward, but I think we'll try to go through all those.
So which one do you like better? The left Yeah, I like that one too.
So actually, so you can do a 2-handed accompaniment.
back.
Oh.
And all you.
So that it
Yeah.
goes stuff
I'm
and
telling
then
Mr.
you
Ruben, for some reason, for me, I like
Okay.
first conversion.
I'll just try to
first
play it.
second
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
That's doing it. From the right. Yeah, because in C,
Yeah.
I don't know why I should have.
You can do that with your control. Or if you want to play the that's sort of fun.
I'm naturally and maybe it's just more.
Yeah.
So used to theory. Sorry, second. And I don't know why, it's
Then
like
that's.
spreading it out.
There we go.
That's weird.
Now.
Sorry, I forgot.
I don't know if it's easier, it's just like what's my natural want to do. Because like, when I think of what you said, root to first inversion, the top one,
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
do you want
that's
to do
definitely-
the
I just, it's so weird.
melody or do you
It feels
want to
so
do the
foreign.
chords?
And I've
You wanna do the
never
chords?
played piano, so I don't know why I would feel
Yeah.
inclined to
It doesn't
do it.
matter, sometimes
Pretty
it's
good
really
to
just,
do.
or not.
Okay.
Not best.
Okay, so you want to play the,
Okay, well, would you like to play the melody or if you want to play the first inversion?
So.
It's really muddy down there.
oh, we just played the F.
Oh, and
throughout
I'm
this
not
whole
playing
thing.
the melody, so let's move it up.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. Then, you're
Yeah.
gonna
So
take.
which one are you doing, the second inversion?
Flat.
I'm
Not
actually gonna try
everywhere,
yours.
where it says
Oh,
a C7, that's when you play the different chords.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright.
And now to just bring that back. On
Got us all?
2 bars.
that G on goes to A.
Oh, you want me now?
Take all those
Okay.
notes in the chord.
1, 2,
Yeah, so it's just.
The same chord.
1,
This is great.
2.
It's right, because you would used to play for a long time.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
You seem very comfortable with.
Yeah.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4,
It's good,
1,
I'm learning.
That's
Two.
if you go through my-
Especially in that.
was that, you think, what was hard about that?
I mean, the 2s and the 6s and the 1s.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
really, concentrated so much, you know, we did that so much.
Right.
Yeah,
I get that, but I haven't done much with analyzing the minor
I
chords.
was getting tripped up.
Yep, which you get
Yeah.
here.
Yes,
Right?
yes, yeah, I was just doing that, yeah.
Oh, let's keep going
Okay.
then. Do you want to do the
This
chorus?
is gonna be
Let me do the melody for
Because
start.
it's all like
Yeah.
five finger stuff.
And the last one,
I know it does, you have to shift up and then shift down.
F A, so that's 1, then 2 on the F, and then 5 on the A.
So C,
So 5,
one shift.
Just to there, yeah.
2 on the F,
Wasn't, you gonna just do that?
2 on the F.
That's what we just did.
And
So,
then-
Do you want to count us off
Second word.
this time?
C
And
at
now,
the
you're gonna
base.
keep the C for your third.
Yep.
Oh, you want me to count? Okay.
And we'll go to
One,
So
two,
C,
E flat.
E,
So
Four.
what I'm doing there is I have, so it's an
and
F,
then
so I'm putting
E
a
flat,
flat hand on the
Oh,
F.
I see.
Okay, so now.
I was turning it off.
Okay, I'll try to do
Good job.
two down here.
and then,
Do you wanna play again?
Yeah.
I'll
All
try
I'm doing is going up
Okay.
It just flows.
in the chord, like,
1, 2, 3,
so just kind of doing the triad, I
One,
did 1, 5, 1, 2, 5.
ready,
What was the second one again? I had the A's.
I didn't do the 3 on the bottom hand though.
A, C, F.
Oh, sorry. No, you're okay.
Yeah, I just did the 1 and then 5.
oh, we're talking about the second one, or the one we
Alright.
just did?
One,
Well,
And then I
the
just,
first
yeah,
one
just the
was
triad there.
the second one I did.
Oh, the
oh,
second
sorry.
one.
Yeah.
A, C, F.
One, two,
And then that one
three,
Okay.
four,
See, that one,
One.
yeah.
I love that.
three.
Well,
E flat, C.
It does, right?
I gotta get it, yeah.
One minor chord. I didn't like the way it sounded.
I didn't like that, it sounds really low.
So a lot of times with Chris Camp, they go to family members that want to sing. So if they're singing, then you just do chords, because they know the melody, no problem.
Yeah, when I lived in San Antonio, we did a
Yeah,
Christmas
that's my
That
favorite,
one's-
so I thought,
Oh,
and I
It's all
love
really
that.
close together.
on
You
occasion.
kind of go back and forth through the 1 and 5.
Bass clarinet.
Okay.
Always ended in six. I was afraid that something would break.
Yeah. So whenever I play this note, that's when you're gonna play the next one.
I'm going to.
Two violins.
Yeah.
What I would do.
You can use a pedal lifted, that's what I was doing, just so I have more time to change.
1 and 5.
There you
Well, the
go.
last one in that register with this, the open.
One.
Yeah.
2,
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
4,
All right, we'll go with that.
I like
Oh.
that.
I'll give you some time to figure it out.
Oh,
Yeah, when we,
So we
when
know
we.
what you're doing.
that's
What I'm
it.
gonna do is, then I have to start out in position.
For the
And
C7.
measure
Then I'll do
3.
the root.
Yeah, let's start over.
Okay.
You gonna count off this time?
2,
Okay.
3,
1, 2, 3,
1,
Two,
2,
three,
1, 2, 3, 4,
the
1,
four chord comes up fast.
One.
later.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, it does.
if I was doing it with 2 hands, I'd probably do
Like that, but that was low tax.
Yeah.
In short,
like kind of
I
same
would
thing I
start
did with the F, where it's 1 and 5, and then
1, 2,
position.
3, 4.
C, G.
Yeah, and I find it easier to shift
Yeah.
too as
Do a
well.
second inversion for the
Yeah, I would do
chord.
something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
If
so
we
I
were
can
doing
play the
2
roots.
hands.
Then I can
You
also.
play the
That's
time.
good.
I did.
Yeah, you did it perfect.
so
Of course. Do you do it again?
Yeah, for
Okay.
tricky.
Yeah. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
There, please.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like my piano's really loud.
Yeah.
That sound loud, it sounds really loud.
No.
Yeah, with that particular shape, yes,
Oh,
you
that's
could do
not
that.
bad.
Close.
So I have is all.
Moving your thumb would be best, because that looked really awkward when you did that, so move your thumb.
Yeah.
That's why jazz is so good, because if you throw an extra finger.
Yeah, and I'm just going to that closest position, just kind of going up the
Yes.
Playing it earlier at the same time and the chords and the melody, and it sounded really good.
Oh man, putting it together with 2 hands is more difficult than it seems.
Alrighty, you guys look like you're having a good time, just trying to figure out what it sounds like. And, it helps when there's a melody to it, right? And you know what it sounds like. You could even, actually Austin just said, yeah, hands hands together, it's a little harder than you think if you're doing it all by yourself, right? So you can certainly, you could record yourself playing the melody on your phone and do a playback and accompany yourself that way. You want to do it just so you can have a melody. You could also sing while you play the chords. That would work as well too. It's definitely one of these things, but it is doable, absolutely, right? And so hopefully it's the fact that you have a tune to it that will motivate you to get those chords in there because it sounds beautiful with the chords, right? And certainly, if you're expanding that, then I was playing the Gloria section with Fern, and oh, that D minor chord sounds so good in the Gloria part. So. So once we have all these tonic chords and dominant, every now and then we throw in a minor chord. It's delicious. Cool, so keep that with you, we'll keep working on that. Let's take a look at page 60. Yet another piece that we're working on. All right, this piece called 3, strange title, the number 3. Anyone catch on to why he would call this piece 3? 3 of what? Right hands and triads. If you're thinking triads, 3, absolutely, that could be. Sorry, are you thinking of thirds, you mean?
Thirds.
Your right hands and thirds, right? So they're playing skips, possibly. Definitely one way to look at it. I think there's a more clever reason. There's one particular one that I'm thinking of, which I think it's pretty funny that he chose.
There's 3 pedal undulations per phrase.
Whoa, that's a really intellectual
I was just looking at the bar below the music and it looked weird.
Oh, all those pedal markings
Yeah,
right there.
so-
Technically, there's 2 per bar though.
Oh, okay.
Because then you're, yeah.
Well, I meant phrase,
The phrase.
so
In the phrase.
I was.
In 2 bar
if
phrases,
it's
1, 2,
like-
3.
I
True.
know.
I would never have thought of that, but true. Yes. That could also be why he uses 3.
Because there's a triad somewhere.
This entire piece is made up of 3 chords.
Wow.
That's all you have. You just have, so we're in the key of C major. So once you see it, whoa, super cool, right? So first of all, your eyes are going to your grand staff. You're noticing that you're both in bass clef.
Yeah.
We're making you read, right? So in bass clef, you're in C major. Here's your C major chord. Your 4 chord, which is F major. And your G major chord, which is your 5. And then it goes back to your 1, 4, 5, 1, 5, 4. Right? So here with this piece, what's beautiful about it is that you explore what it sounds like when you go from a 5 to a 4 versus when you go 5 to a 1. It sounds very different. Deidre mentioned something, showed me a joke today. It went from a 5 to a 6 to a minor 6. Right? So if you wanted to throw, right? So when you chain your 2 chords together, they have different effects. So in any of the music that you sing or play, or your orchestral music, the effects that there's certain things that make our goosebumps come out. It's just chords, right? It's still chords that you're playing, but just the order that you put them in, it does something for us, which is very cool, right? Here we go. Let's take a look. Let's split this up. Will you guys be the bottom bass clef, so the left hand bass clef, and will you guys be the right hand bass clef? And keep in mind, you're either C major, F major, or a G major chord. Let's try that that first line right there. One. It's a nice adagio, so we're just listening to the tonal quality of it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, play. G major, 2, 3, 4. Alrighty. We almost got all the notes. We're gonna try it again. On top of that, we're gonna try and grab some more of the dynamics that Robert Vandal writes. Okay, so that first little 2 bars, going to the G chord is really where your music is all headed. So he does a nice little crescendo to the G, C, F, G. So make sure you're right at the G. And then the next 2 bars, it's an echo. Imagine it far away. So let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, play. A little more. Most. 2, 3, echo. Oh, so there's no crescendo there. Okay. So if he wanted one, he would have written one. He's very specific with his music. Right, so, because all of a sudden you want to crescendo, right? Because it's a 1, 4, 5. You hear it going there, except he doesn't want you to, because then it gives away the joke in measure 5. That sudden forte, we want to bring that out. Alright? Okay, so the first, actually, let's take a look at the second line, and then we'll put those 2 together. Second line, and yes, you are starting forte on that C major chord. 1, 2, ready, play. Nice. Less. 2, 3. Stay soft. 2. That was nice. Your forte was very impressive. Alright, let's put those 2 lines together. So then all of a sudden we do a crescendo, we do an echo, we get suddenly loud, and then we keep everything soft. It sounds like we're floating. It's very cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little more. More. Stay soft. Nice. Suddenly. Stay soft. That was so beautiful. Absolutely, right? So not only are you thinking of, so you have the chords, but also when you think about, okay, how am I going to shape these based on where the chord's going, and also what the composer suggests, music happens. That's how music happens, right? So you guys just made music happen, which is very cool. Alrighty. You guys want to finish it out?
Sure.
Yeah. Alrighty. Line 3. Line 3 all the way to the end. Right hand people, notice that in the 4th line you go into full root position chords. Just be aware of that. Okay. Bar 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's start slow. So all collectively we need to be at a piano. 1, 2, ready, play. 1. C major. Echo. Stay soft. More. Keep building. More. Yeah, so we get this swell and then also then we put the flame out again. Alright? Yeah, good. This is a beautiful piece to play because it's not moving fast, so you have enough time to think of where your chords are, where your fingers need to be. This is also a great one for your pedal practice. Because C major chord cannot blend with your F major, definitely cannot blend with your G major, because then it all just sounds like a watercolor, which is not what Vandal was going after. All right? I want to play another piece for you, which we will get into next week. Well, Thursday. I keep thinking today's Thursday. I wish. It's Arioso over on the next page on 62. 62. I'm just going to play it for you. 1. 1, 2, 1, 2. That one's a bit of more of a finger puzzle for sure, but we're going to use that piece to talk about articulation. All right, any questions for today? Let me jot what we need for Thursday up on the board really quick for you, and then you can go. Thanks, guys.